Look, I need a hard hit, I need a deep stroke, I need a Henny drink, I need a weed smoke. Not a garden snake, I need a king cobra with a hook in it, hope it lean over. He got some money, then that's where I'm headed. Pussy A1, just like his credit.
Hey guys, today I'm going to be doing this Cheetah scene makeup tutorial. If you want to see how I achieve this, then please keep on watching. For skin preparation, I use these two products. Make sure that you let them dry before you put another one on top. And then I also use an eye serum to get a perfect under eye. I did my eyebrows off camera, and since I'm going to start with the eyes, I'm prepping them with a concealer. I'm blending it with the sponge, and I'm going to set them with banana powder. And right after that, I'm going in with the first shade from the Jaclyn Hill Volume 2 palette. And I'm going to be going in with that. It's like a peachy toned neutral shade. So I'm going to be placing this as a transition color, making sure I bring it all the way to the brow tip. And then I'm going to be going in with another palette by Morphe, and it's just a brown, light brown color. And I'm going to place that right on top of the first shade I used. I went in with a clean blending brush just to smooth that out. Then going in with the James Charles palette, I used those two shades and combined them and putting them on my outer crease to start building the color. Little by little, I started bringing the color higher and higher, but make sure that you do this slowly because it could go wrong really quick. And as I was doing this part, I was making sure I was looking up and down, even sideways, just, to make sure the shadow was building up to the shape that Cardi had on the video. Then I went with this shade right here to put it on the brow bone, and that helped me blend together this color and the burgundy shade. It could also help you if you went too high with the burgundy shade, it could help you bring it down. After that, I just kept adding the red shade and the other two burgundy colors I showed at the beginning. So this one and the other ones, and I just kept adding the red and then going back to the burgundy just to build it up to the color on the picture. So I was just being really careful not to overuse the products because it could, go wrong, and it's hard to take it off rather than adding, so always go slowly. After all of that, I went in with a concealer to cut the crease, and it was a little bit passing the halfway of the eye. Once I did that, I went in with the shimmer, and that shimmer is from the Urban Decay Heavy Metals palette. And this shade that I'm going to be using, it's like a champagne shade, but I thought it was a little bit too light, like too white, so I ended up using a ColourPop shimmer, and I'm going to show you right now. It's like a rose gold or more pinkish, but it wasn't as pink as I wanted it, so I went in with this blush first and started shading in everything before going in again with the ColourPop pink shimmer shadow. Then I got a flat brush and picked up these colors and started outlining the crease, but not too harsh. At this point, I felt like the color was too red, so I went in with that shadow to make it a little bit darker. And then I'm going to be going in with that same shade again to just blend in the outer V and then the cut crease that we created earlier. So to give the look more drama, I went in and picked up these two shades to make it darker on the outer V, and this is going just in the outer V, not touching the top part, the burgundy reddish shade, because then it's just gonna not look the same. And then I just went in with a little blending brush and shaded in both of the colors just to make them blend even more. As the last step for the shadow, I went in with the liner, and I wish I would have done it higher because later on you'll see me making it even a lot higher, so I'll look a little bit crazy in a little bit, but that is okay because we'll be cutting the edge anyways. If you have this eyeliner, I don't recommend you going in the inner corner with it because it will bleed, and I don't like that at all. It makes it look messy. Anyways, I did the other eye and I came back back looking like this because I went in, like I said, further. And with this e.l.f. eyeliner, I went in the inner corner to make it more clean. And then I just picked up a little bit more of the brow bone color I used earlier just to smooth it out even more. Later, I went in with this shade to make it a little bit less pink. And now to cut the eyeliner, I went in with the wipey and the end of my nail. And that should be sharp enough to clean it up. And I went as high as I wanted it. And I think that it made my eyes look a little bit more stretched out. And after that, I went into my foundation, and to make the eyeliner more sharp, I used a little bit of the foundation and an angled brush to really get in there and clean it up as much as I could. So I'm just patting in all my foundation as I regularly do, and then I'm gonna be doing what I just said about the eyeliner, making it more sharp, and this will help it look more clean and more put together. And just be careful when you get too close with the sponge. I added more foundation and then blended that out before going in with a concealer. And her face is super snatched, so the concealer is gonna help us achieve that look as well. So I'm just going in with it all the way to my temples. You're gonna see me here doing that. I'm gonna bring it all the way. Don't be afraid to bring it high like this. It's not gonna make you look crazy. It's just gonna give you that illusion that your face is elongated and like really snatched up. Then I went in with a much lighter concealer to brighten more the under eye. And this one, we're not gonna bring it all the way to the temples. Then I'm gonna be going in with the same baking powder I set my eyes with at the beginning. And I'm setting everything, baking basically your regular spots, under eye, forehead, around my mouth, nose, all of that. And then I'm going to be placing it all over my face for a matte finish. And with this powder, what I didn't like is that it left me the mark of where I put it. See right here, I closed it up so you can see how ugly that looked. And I did not let it bake. As soon as I finished placing it, I started buffing it out, and it did that anyway. So just be careful with whatever powder you're using. Make sure you're comfortable and you already know how it works. So yeah. Then going on to contouring my face, I'm going to be bringing it up a little bit higher than I usually do. And then placing bronzer right on top of that. Cardi on the video does not look like she has a lot of this going on, but since my face is a little bit more rounder, you know, and obviously chubbier than hers, I need to make it look like I have more chiseled cheeks, or however you say that. And then I sprayed my face very generously to make sure those ugly lines went away. And then to snatch my nose, I use the same colors I used to contour, and this time I'm making it snatched as much as I could. And after placing the color where I wanted to go, I'm going to be going in with a blending brush to blend more the harsh line on the bottom like I am right there. And then I'm going to be using a little bit of the bronzer to smooth out even more my nose. And also to, you know, make it match your cheeks the same color, you know, so it doesn't look two different shades on your nose and your cheeks. And then I'm gonna bake my nose a little bit like that. And since earlier I already baked my under eyes, the color won't grab as well. So I'm placing a little bit of concealer so that, you know, it's easier and the color is more vibrant, you know. And I'm starting with the red shade and I'm placing that, and then over that I'm going in with the other burgundy shade, which is this one. And I'm just shading it in like about halfway, you know. And then the inner corner I'm going to be using that champagne shade, but not too bright, so it doesn't have to be like really shining. So this is perfect for that. Then I'm going to be going in with the black eyeliner, and I'm going to put that on the top. Don't forget the top because it is very visible if you don't do it. And then a thin waterline on the bottom, not too dramatic and then going in with the mascara first on the bottom, then on the top, so you don't transfer it to the top shadow. I couldn't pick between these two, but I went in with the bigger one, and I'm happy I did because it looked more like the look. And then I put some matte black eyeshadow over the eyeliner because it looked a little bit shiny and I didn't like it. So then after that, I sprayed my face, and the reason why I do those eyes like that, I'm sorry, but is because I really want the spray to go on my under eye. And after placing the lashes, I went in to dry my face with a fan because then I don't like to move until I know for sure the lashes are really on there. So yeah, I do that first before going onto the next step, which was the highlight. I used a gold one just because I thought it went better with this vibe going on. Then, so there's no harsh line between the highlight and the contour, I went in with the bronzer again. I didn't place anything, just whatever was left on the brush, and I just kind of did that, like went over it a little bit. Then I did decide to go in with a lighter blush because, like I said, the picture looked like that, so I went in with a little bit more of that. And yes, I went in again with the setting mist one more time. Don't be afraid to use it. If you are, just don't spray a lot at once. You can do it in between, you know, after it's really dry completely, and do it again just so it can be smoother. But if you do a lot at once, it can mess up your foundation. And I also highlighted a little bit more on the inner eye, just because it was too subtle for me, I guess. And then I went in to highlight my nose as well. Moving on to the lips, I placed a little bit of the Vaseline on my lips and then scrubbed off all the extra foundation I had on them. And then I went in with this lip liner, but I wish I didn't because it was more cool tone. So yeah, I ended up going over that with a warm toned liner. And I just did the whole lips again with this new liner, and it was perfect. I loved it. I did shade it in a little bit more the top lip than the bottom, just because in the picture it looked like that. Then I went in with a nude lipstick and I placed it all over my lips, and I wish that I didn't put as much because it ended up being a little bit too dark. And later on I showed you how I lightened that up. But yeah, after the lipstick I went in with two different lip glosses, which is the Fenty Gloss Bomb, and then I went in with a NYX Butter Gloss. So it still was a little bit dark, like I said, and I ended up lighting it up with a concealer, which I'll show you in a little bit. So I dabbed a little bit of concealer, little by little, just, you know, building it up to how light I wanted it to go. And then that's all I could do, blending with my own lips and just adding a tiny bit, you know, here and there, until I got what I wanted. And that was the last step for this look. I hope you guys liked it and enjoyed watching me recreating this. I had so much fun. I love Cardi so much, and you know, I love makeup, so I had to recreate these looks. They are so iconic, so let me know if you like them in the comments. And yeah, thank you so much for watching. See you on the next one.